Hello, I'm Fantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be firing through Ganesha's Hidden Treasure for this special difficulty, which means if you use a Mega Awoken leader as your own, so Typhon in my case, you actually get access to a gold token or medal at the end of every successful completion. Now, utilizing a Mega Awoken card is the best thing to do possible because it makes the stamina the most efficient. But if you are able to create a more like swipey or easy brainless farmable team, that is definitely meaningful. Now this team has basically got remnants of like various JP teams and other modifications I had to make for my own box. But the idea is I'm able to counter all the floors with as little effort as possible and abuse basically the fast orb generators from the Raccoon Seals and Lucifer and Gremory. So I feel it's worth just mentioning what each card brings to the table because it will give you a better idea to understand why this team functions and possible modifications you can make on your own. So for my case, I used Mega Awoken Typhon and I gave him Nell's Weapon. Nell's Weapon is a column of dark and a column of hearts, and Typhon's leader skills you need to match 4+ heart orbs, so I solved that. My friend, which is the triple O guy, he needs to match 4+ dark orbs. So columns of hearts, columns of dark are great for this team. So just keep that in the back of your mind. So Nell's Weapon is great because it has the damage absorb counter, which you need. Gremory and Lucifer both make columns of dark and heart orbs. So as far as instantaneous like swiping goes, they are beneficial. Typhon is farmable from Gung Ho Palig Machine, so that executes floor 1. Lucifer has a blisteringly fast cooldown. These killers don't matter. This was used for like Training Arena 2, so don't worry about that. But the Raccoon Seal creates 2 columns of dark, 2 columns of hearts, and that's why it's meaningful. This Rem Draw is farmable. I finally got one, so now I can do all these cool stuff. But the idea is you get to have 2 turns haste and full bind and Awoken bind clear. And the haste is important to keep other actives cycled up. And the Super Awakening ideally is dungeon boost, but Super Awakening doesn't actually matter. Lucifer Super Awakening could be dungeon boost as well if you had, say, Skill Boost Plus in your Rem Draw. Again, don't fish hard for Rem Draw. Whatever you get, just accept it. And then Envy has blind resist, which is nice. Ignore these killers, they don't matter. They have blind resist, and they have this active skill. And it's Void Damage Void. Basically, I can ignore the need to make a VDP on the final floor, which is meaningful in itself because now it becomes easy to swipe columns. And then Triple O obviously is the leader pairing. It has a way to override the unable to match orb effects. They also have the Raccoon Seal. I think the Raccoon Seal is magical. I only have one of them for myself, so this build reflects that. But the idea is you get 2 haste and 2 columns of useful orbs. So I'm just going to jump right in and narrate my way through. So on the first floor, I would like to use my Raccoon Seal from Friend. It gives me the haste and the columns of orbs. So I had to break these up because I want to keep 5 hearts and 5 darks for the next one. But I'm going to execute this floor here with Typhon. And Typhon's Inherit gives me haste as well to keep other people charged up. It's a way to achieve skill boosts. So here I need to do that. You see here how I broke up the orbs? It's very unlikely they're going to match themselves. And I go to the next floor, and I still have these orbs preserved. If any of the spawns lock orbs, that's obviously a problem. I do have 100% Jammer Resist with the 60% on my Envy as an Inherit, and the Jammer Resist badge. If you have Uiki, the 6-star Mystic Spectre girl, she has Super Jammer Resist as her weapon, so that is another possible option. Just be mindful of the fact that the cooldown is quite short and it might overcharge on your Envy, so he might need to be unskilled. I didn't want to go through that hassle, and I only have one Uiki and I don't want to convert it. But the idea is 1 column kills stuff. So now that I've exhausted the 2 columns, I'm going to have to make some more. And the best part is both leaders give +3 combos. So 1 dark, 1 heart combo, that equals 2 + 3 + 3 is 8. And that's a little unfair when you think about it. Because I'm about to make 8 combos. Like that. Doesn't look it, but that is 8 combos, and that overcomes Fenrir. It just makes life so much easier. Don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. And I still have orbs ready for whatever floor is next. So, like, I had issues sometimes with my damage on this part here, so I just match a little bit more. I have extra dark orbs anyways. I matched a little bit more, it dies, don't have to worry about it. Sometimes I had issues, sometimes I didn't. Maybe if everything was maxed out, maybe. But I can match 1 more combo, it's not hard. Alright, this is why Nell's weapon is beautiful, because Nell will create you the columns you need to easy match and the damage absorb counter. So, 10 Rem Draw gives you the 2 haste, which gets Typhon up in time, and I also get to clear the Awoken Binds. And then I use Typhon, and I can just do a happy little swap. Make sure I make the follow-up attack, make sure there's no hearts connected. It should be reasonably straightforward to avoid blobbing hearts for follow-up attack. And we're on to the last floor. So, I have Lucifer almost ready again. Gremory's ready, so that's a column for myself. Remember, I need columns to kill stuff. So, I'm going to use Envy to cause Void, damage Void. Now, I can ignore the Void mechanic. These spinners are a problem, so what you need to do is kind of time when you use your active skill. So I'm going to wait for the spinner to just change, and then I'll tap Gremory, and then I'll swipe accordingly. So I'm going to wait for it to change now. So I'm pretty close, and then I have more than enough time to swipe and kill it. If you feel like you're going to miss the timing of that spinner, just wait till it spins back into the proper thing. Some devices could be laggier than others. I've managed to kill myself once here, unfortunately, because I just couldn't time the spinner. So the best way to time the spinner is just watch and wait. So I'm going to watch, just change, going to swipe now, because I have more than enough time to swipe in that process. See, only halfway through the spinner phase, so I'm fine. And I ignore the Void mechanic completely. So basically, for this dungeon, the things you really want to bring are like an L unlock, a cloud resist, damage absorb counter, and a way to deal with voids. I feel like those are the main things you need. Like, you can like brute force this dungeon with better teams, but if you can utilize the Mega Awoken card, it makes this much more stamina efficient because, well, I got some drops. That's why dungeon boosts are better. I didn't fish for the Rem Draw Super Waking, but if we look in my mailbox, you notice I get all these gold medals that just pile up, and it's quite magical because you get one for every single clear, and then I can go to the monster exchange and I can start trading up for skill delay resists. Now, I would like to get skill delay resists more than pies, and of course the need will come down to your monster box, but I find that pies are much easier to acquire by comparison to SDRs. SDRs, we really only can get through these events. Pies, you can get by playing arenas, and with the introduction of like skill leveling dungeons, pies have a little less value because you technically could spend stamina, go to a skill leveling dungeon, and skill up your stuff. We can't really do that with SDRs. You could even roll stuff max skilled out of Godfest. I can't roll cards with SDRs attached to them. So for myself, I'm personally going to go for SDRs because you never can have too many SDRs. You always can have more. So just exchange them up and enjoy yourself with all these extra SDRs. And I've got 12 thus far within like a day and a bit of farming. Refill your stamina by watching ads, and maybe if you can chain rank ups through like Shura Realm or whatever, just keep going ham, get as many SDRs. How many am I planning to farm? As many as my natural stamina plus ad watching will let me do. So with that in mind, hopefully all a fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, farm those SDRs, and happy puzzling.